eventually. Yes.
Isn't that going to be a function of what percentage at the end of the day?
No, if the whole essence of the card readers, like you rightly said, is to check a lot of things, including electoral fraud, then the greater trouble is now that it is not there anymore. It opens the window of possible electoral manipulations, and that ultimately affects the credibility of the election. That would or could affect the credibility of the election, and that is a lot of worry for me. Indeed, if 100 people were accredited, confirmed by the smart card, and then maybe 80 people came back to vote, then you will be sure that, yes, those guys who were accredited are the same guys who came back to vote. But now that we are not using that device, it is open to manipulation, and that is a great source of worry. But having said that, I think we must also admit that, as we always say, it's a learning process. It's the first time we are testing it. I have great faith in INEC, and even in that device and that option. We cannot throw it off. I should think that it's a call to service for INEC to probably review the technology or do some kind of fine-tuning that would reinforce our confidence in its performance and then the effectiveness and the efficiency of that device itself.
Let's stay with that device. I mean, we use the POS terminals across the country, and they've not been, I mean, hardly would you find a POS terminal fill unless the battery is down, so to speak. But does this mean that what was acquired was substandard?
Well, I really cannot say for sure whether it is substandard or whether it is perfect, but enough to say that, yes, I've also had cases of POS failing, but not at this rate. But having said that, I am also curious about the owners of this device. What brand name? The guys who produced these card readers. We've heard several things, several inferences about coming from China, and we know the opinion we have about China. As soon as we hear China, we know what it connotes or denotes.
It depends on what you order.
Well, it depends on what you order. But in this case, if it came from China, it collocates with the original, the opinion the public has about China products.
That might be a misconception.
It might be a misconception. It might be a misconception. But generally, the opinion is that, when it is China. In any case, I will ask you, what is the brand name of this card reader? Who are the manufacturers?
Was that information necessary for us to know?
No, for instance, if it was a product like Sony, for instance, the greater confidence in that device will be stronger than an amorphous product that we do not know.
Now, if you look at the performance, guys, let's take a look at that statistics with in the north in Kano, because when that came up, while they conducted that test, yes, they had a huge failure rate in the north at that time when it was done in some of those regions, 12 states. Now, the figures that came through from Kano, where they had 2,910 people who came out on that day to get themselves accredited, and then 1,378 were those who successfully completed their accreditations in Kano. Well, that's not up there. But they had a 52.6% failure rate. And today, while we spoke to our correspondent in Kano about how the elections were going on, contrary to the kind of reports that are coming through from Lagos, he did eventually tell us that, well, at the moment, it's all going well. Most places, they turned up on time, accreditation started on time, ended on time, and then not as rampant as compared to Lagos, really. So to that extent, wouldn't we say that perhaps the commission might have gone back, done its homework, and then cleaned it up a bit?
Fine. So if the commission did that, then we should expect a broader level of success, broader. And I say this with all understanding of the fact that technology could fail. It could succeed, it could fail. In Katsina, General Buhari didn't have problem or stress getting accredited. In fact, in less than a minute, he was done. Ditto his wife. Back in Bayelsa or Toke, we had a president struggling for over 30 or thereabout minutes, and then his wife. But I think we're also silent about his mother. He went along with his father, with his mother, and then his wife.
Okay.
He and his wife couldn't get through. I think the mother went through. So you can see the unreliability of the efficiency of the device.
All right.